Howdy folks, thanks for tuning in. Hope y'all doing okay. So, I want to talk about something that I just wish wasn't the way it is. I started driving legally on public roads in 2004. And at the time we had two Toyota Previa minivans. We had, one was a 91 or 92, the other one was a 94. Option just minimally different. Fantastic vans. But anyway, when I got my license, my first vehicle that was mine that I got to drive the majority of the time was a 97 F-150 with a 5-speed. Now, Dad made me get a 5-speed because he's like, you're going to learn how to drive 5-speed before, you know, while you have your license and while you're living under my roof. That's a skill you're going to learn. I had zero cares to do so. I did not get the first truck that I wanted. I wanted a truck. I knew that, but I wanted a smaller quad cab truck so I could haul friends around, which he didn't want that. So I get this little single cab F-150 with a 5-speed. How to drive it? Wouldn't you know it, I fell in love with driving stick. Now, that said, there are times that I don't enjoy driving stick. You all know I got my Mustang. I don't like driving it back from work on day shift because the traffic sucks. That thing's got an upgraded clutch. It is really difficult to sit in stop and go traffic on an interstate, especially when you can't idle along and not have someone pulling in front of you and make you stop. I really don't like driving it to and from work. Don't mind driving it to work, actually. I just hate driving it home from work. But, all that said, I wish that more manufacturers offered stick shifts. I understand why they don't right now, due to EPA rules. Because you can predict what that automatic transmission is going to do in a given circumstance, and it's easier to average your fuel economy and make it meet it. As a matter of fact, that is part of the reason why in high-end sports cars, like the Porsche 911, the dual clutch is faster because it will skip gears when it shifts, whereas the manual doesn't typically. And so you need longer gears to make it meet the emission standards. That said, I think that if a higher percentage of vehicles on the road were stick, you'd have more attentive drivers, especially in urban traffic. But I absolutely love driving stick. Right now, there's only one vehicle in the entire Ford lineup that has a manual transmission option, and it is the Mustang. It's also the only car currently in the Ford model lineup is Mustang. Everything else is dead. Allegedly, they're bringing the Fusion, a version of the Fusion back, which that did have, with certain trim levels, a manual trans option, but never caught on big. Back in 2013, when I was still at the dealership, you could get certain models of the Focus, the Fiesta, the Fusion, and the Mustang with manual transmissions. And working at the truck plant, a weird thing I know, is up until 2018 model year, I want to say, maybe 2019, you could get manual transmissions in the Super Duties. Now, they weren't for sale in the U.S., they were export trucks to Mexico. But you could get manuals in the Super Duty, not for U.S. sale. I just wish that they'd make a comeback, and I actually figured out a way that you could make them, and make them hybrid to help with the fuel economy and emissions regulations. Put a motor on the tail shaft of the transmission. It could help out. You could push a button, it would go into EV mode. You just put the transmission in neutral and use your throttle pedal. When you see the battery goes low, you push a button that restarts the engine. You select your gear, down the road you go. I just wish that would happen. Folks, thanks for tuning in. Catch y'all next time. Have a good one.